Good morning, Jamaica. Good morning to the world. How are you this morning? How are my friends in Florida, in Canada, and of course in the Caribbean? I'm your friend Vernon, and we're coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. This is Omega Radio, coming to you live from 89.1 at 89.3 FM right here in Kingston, Jamaica. Plus we're coming to you from 101.9 FM in Fort Lauderdale. So make sure that you are tuned into the program. Oh yes, all our friends, and make sure that you're tuning in. This is Spot On with Vernon Darby. This is the People's Program, the People's University, and the People's Parliament. Stay with Omega FM for your spiritual, social, and intellectual needs. Stay with us because we support what is best for you and all our listeners. It's the People Show, where I listen to your concerns and I will leave no stone unturned until your issues are addressed. This is a place to find the experts to help you. This is the place for exciting discussions. This is a place to make sure that your voice is heard. This is a place to be spot on. If you have community issues such as poor road conditions, water challenges, or garbage collection challenges, for example, then we need to talk. Or if you want to commend someone who is giving good community service, or commend an organization or a person who is giving you excellent customer service, then you need to tell us about that. All you need to do is to send me a WhatsApp message to 876-816-5261. That is 876-816-5261. You can send a message or you can send a voicemail. And today, my friends, I definitely want to hear from you. The lines will be open. You want to know which lines you can call? Yeah, man. Just get a pen. What, you don't have no pen? What up to your paper? I don't believe you. This is a school. This is the university. You have to come with your pen and paper. Or you're young. You use computer. All right, let's ready to go. All right. So the number to call if you want to talk with me today. All right. Let's go very slowly. It's 876 613 9129. All right. Let me give you that again. That is 876 613 9129. And of course, you can call toll free at 877 494 0253. That's you can call toll free at 877 4924 0253. The international number to call is 954 900 4310. They got it. All right, let's see what's coming up today. Of course, we're going to start off with some fine music, music to lift your spirit up so you get ready for it. If you want to dance, enjoy yourself. But if you're driving on the road, you have to take it easy. All right, so we have some music coming up. Right, and then we will have opening comments, and that will be followed by Talk Your Talk. Then Technology Now. Yes, the tech man will be here. So if you're not too versed in the technology, or even if you're versed in the technology, you'll stay with us so you can learn quite a bit. And of course, the lawyer will be here. Did we mention that the technology man is Andre Monteith? And then the lawyer will be joining us. His name is Wendell Wilkins. And let me tell you something. If you have a legal concern, call the lawyer, right? He will give you. But I won't give you legal advice, but he can guide you as to what you can do. Can you imagine that we're not going to charge you? So the lawyer will be here. You're free to call him, express your opinion, ask questions so that you can make better decisions for yourself. Then at about after the break at 3 o'clock, we'll have meditation, psalm reading, and then you should know that. Then we'll have part 2 with the law and you. So Wendell will be back with us, of course. He's staying a little extra with us, and we want to extra time with us, and we want to thank Wendell for doing that for us. And then we'll take your calls after that and have some more fun. So make sure that you have your number ready. You forgot to write it out. I don't believe you. Let me tell you the number again. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you the numbers that you must have in your phone. You must have this one. That is 876-816-5261. When you have that number, that's a confidential number. So if you have something to report, say, for example, if your husband beat you up, if your wife beat you up, so the confidential things, about crime happening in your area, is very confidential. I'm the only person who will see what you're sending. So feel free to, but tell me about what informer for this. No, man, you don't have to worry. I get the information. And let me tell you, the moment you send the information to me, I'll get it to the relevant persons almost immediately. And Pastor Boyne is here with me. She got what matter dealt with. I will talk about that later. And Sarge, if I don't look good, it's to blame Sarge, you see. Him don't fix the camera, and I'm not a handsome person. I don't like this camera, but I'm on the YouTube too. So I fix up my face this morning. Let me see if this smile will make me look a little better. So Sarge is making sure that I look good. So we're on YouTube. Let's go to the YouTube channel. There you'll see us. And of course, Richard is here overseeing things. They're making sure that I fit in quite well. We're going to start off with some lovely music this morning. Oh yes, it's now, let me see, 11 minutes past 1. Come on, you ready to rock with me? Yeah? I feel like rocking too.
For the Lord is my
Shepherd, I shall. Come on, Jamaica, sing with me the word. Yes,
and he
make
maketh
me
me
to
to
lie
lie
down
down
in green pastures. Yes,
I know the Lord is my shepherd.
come on, sing. You're not singing with me. Come on, man. shall know the world. What you What you can't sing? No, mommy, that's why you hold that tune. Even when you boil up the tune, you boil it up to so just sing your song. Come on, sing with me now. Come on. Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Victory in Jesus. Amen. Victory in Jesus. Amen. Hold up on your victory. I
know the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Good morning to my friends in Trelawney, Manchester, Colville, Silent Hill. How you doing? Beautiful in Trelawney. Sam Lamar, how you doing, boss? Afternoon.
Victory in Jesus. Victory in Jesus. Hold up on your victory. Hold up on your victory. Victory in Jesus. Victory in Jesus. Hold up on your victory. Oh, say the Lord is my shepherd.
I shall not want.
And he maketh me to lie down in green grasses. And he maketh me to lie down in green grasses. And he maketh me to lie down in green grasses.
Oh, yes, Pastor Boyne. I'm sure that we wake up everybody this morning right across from Jamaica, from Morant Point to Negril Point, all over from the north coast to the south coast, the east to the west, and we're ready to go. And as I said to you, this is a People's Show. This is your show. This is not a show we just come on the radio to show. This is a People's Show. We give everybody a chance. We want to air your views. And also, not just to talk, When you talk, I make a note of what you say, and I make sure that I send them to the appropriate person or organization. I can tell you, if they don't act, you know about ticks? Yeah, but me and them skin like ticks. So, you don't have to worry. So don't talk about your small man. No, you don't know big chat. With this station and with this program, your voice will be just as big as anybody else in this world. All right, so it's time for us to have some things commented. I must tell you, I got a complaint this morning, and I must commend the National Water Commission. Let's call them no water coming in. I can't do that because you can't call the National Water Commission no water coming these days because they can't be blamed for that. We're going through a very serious drought. And we have to understand that, and we have to conserve in terms of the water. But my good friends in Tivoli Gardens, I want to hear from you. I know they're having some challenges. I got a complaint from another area. I think NWC has dealt with that. And as I said before, the moment by the way, you must flood me with all the complaints, but when you're not getting through, then all you need to do is to send me a WhatsApp message to 876-816-5261. All right, I got a complaint this morning. I think NWC, Anbolt, and you don't like for me to big up your name. What is that? Thank you very much. Should really jump on this one, though, And I got this message saying that in my community of Langston, that's in Spanish Town, from yesterday upon this morning, still have no water, and there was no announcement made what they're experiencing challenges at one of their stations. And I must tell you, of course, Water Commission, but I must tell you, the moment I sent a message to the National Water Commission, I got a response immediately. Now, what you'll all learn is that you must listen to this station so you can know what is happening, because this is the response that I have. The team is on location completing the reinstalling the pump at the facility. They started yesterday, but were not able to complete. So, for those persons who are living in that area, that's Langston, that's in Spanish Town, keep me in touch. And by the way, when the Water Commission do something good, like how them getting back the water, you must call me and let me know, Yeah, man, call. Because remember, that encouragement sweetens labor. So what are the way to get these companies, Mark? I know you're going to tell me that they pay them to do the work, but still yet, encouragement sweetens labor. So especially the persons there, if you know anybody in that area, call them, tell them what I say, and they can always call the program and say, boy, Vernon, we get the water, we don't get the water, let me know what's happening. And if you get back the water, commend them. But then remember that we are in a drought, so it is possible that you're still in the lock-off period and you might not get back the water right now. But let me just remind you of the number to call. That is 876-613-9129. And don't forget that the lawyer will be coming on later on, also the IT person, and you might want to ask them questions. So make a note of that number. This is the number to call the station, 876-613-9129. All right. I did mention Tivoli Gardens. I'd love somebody to send me a WhatsApp message to update me on the situation in that area. Now, uniform and how our students dress. I spoke about that yesterday, but I'm going to speak generally about that, about how we dress our children. I saw a little girl in the supermarket. When you look at tight-up shorts that the big woman them wear, and the poor shorts, you see, if we tighten them more, it is going to cause some cut somewhere. Now, why would you be dressing a little picnic like that in that the kind of dress? Eh? Dress the girl like a little picnic. You don't want to pick the girl road and mark you. Nobody has the right to look at them. But at the same time, when you dress them that way, you're making the little picnic into a sex symbol. Don't do it. Dress the child appropriately. Let me tell you something. When we are country, all the girls have saw two big plait on their head, and you not even look upon them because they don't look ready at all. We have to look at them, look good, but they are children. Now we are dressing our children like adults. We're exposing the whole of their body, and they're going to lose respect for themselves. So we are begging for this. Not only when you go to school you should dress appropriately, but you can't have a little children them, your boys, your girls them, or a little people and everything they do. No, we can't continue like that. I don't want you to preach the message because we're trying to have a new country, a country with a different culture. You heard the Prime Minister's wife spoke on Monday, that's Mrs. Juliet Holness, and she spoke about when persons come to her and how they dress. You must respect yourself, man. And it is time this country change. You carry yourself anyhow, just cannot continue. You're going to meet somebody, dress appropriately. You're going to look for a girlfriend, you dress appropriately. Right? You dress anyhow, you don't smell right. You don't have no respect for yourself, I don't have any respect for the woman either. And women, you must demand higher standards in terms of the persons who you talk to. Right? If you bend too low, then you pick up all kind of things from the ground. So you make sure that you hold your head up high. Yes, it's now 1:20 in the afternoon for those who are overseas. It's that'll be 13:20, 100 hours Eastern Standard Time. Yes, Jamaica's on Eastern Standard Time. London is Greenwich Meridian Time. It will be 0, but I think they are now on daylight saving time, so it will be 0+1. So normally they would be 5 hours ahead of us, but now I think they will be 6 hours. So that's something to get used to, the 24-hour clock, and to know that in different parts of the world you have a different time. So everything starts from London, Greenwich Meridian Time. So there are 0 hours. It starts at 0. Jamaica is 5 behind. So when they're at 0, we are 5 behind. So 0 will be 12 o'clock. Lord, my maths so good. Pastor, you can help me in the maths, Me tell you 2 + 2 = 22, I am pathetic. All right. So we have a few more minutes. So let me I think I need to bring I have quite a few other things to bring to your attention. But let me just go through this first. I think this is from the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, branch of the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. And it says, at 4 a.m., the center of Tropical Storm Lee was located near latitude 13.7 degrees north, longitude 44.6 degrees west. Lee is moving towards the west-northwest near 26 kilometers per hour, and this motion is expected to continue for the next few days with a slight reduction in forward speed. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 100 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. Continued steady to rapid strengthening is forecast, and Lee is expected to become a hurricane later today and a major hurricane in a couple of days. And I'm sure the meteorological office, when they say couple, they mean two. Oh, because when we say couple, we mean all 10 or 15. So I take it that there's been two. Now, tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 80 miles, that is 130 kilometers from the center. Tropical storm Lee is not a threat to Jamaica. The Meteorological Service will continue to monitor the progress of the system. But you can check on your Google map, Yeah, man, it's all something the 13.7. You go on your Google map and you move the mouse around and you can figure out exactly where the storm is. Yeah, man, check out Google map. Oh, you know what you call? Yeah, Google Earth. You don't download, yeah, man, download Google Earth and you'll be amazed. You can find where you live. You can look where the storm is and look and see what is happening. I think also you can go to the weather site, which is, I think, is weather.com. I'm not too sure. I'll have to double check on that. Right, now the Meteorological Service of Jamaica Marine Forecast, it says severe weather warnings for small craft and water sports. Inshore North Coast, none. Inshore South Coast, none. Pedro Bank, none. Morant Bank, none. So, fisher folk, you're quite okay today, so it seems. And let me go into some details here. It says, forecast summary. Inshore North Coast winds will become moderate and northeasterly today, light and variable tonight. Moderate waves of 1 meter, partly cloudy with afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Inshore South Coast winds will be light to moderate and southeasterly today, becoming northerly tonight. Moderate waves up to 1 meter, skies will be partly cloudy. Pedro Bank and Morant Bank will experience light to moderate, east to southeasterly winds, 5 to 15 knots today, and tonight with waves up to 1.5 meters, mainly partly cloudy skies. Significant weather features. A trough across Jamaica, light to moderate east to southeasterly winds and afternoon isolated showers, and thunderstorms, mainly along the north coast. Outlook for 6 a.m. on Thursday to 6 a.m. on Friday. A trough, it will result in light to moderate east to southeasterly winds up to 5 to 15 knots, becoming partly cloudy skies with mainly afternoon showers with isolated thunderstorms mainly on the north coast. Right, so there you have it for your marine forecast. And let's now take a look at the local forecast. We mentioned in the marine, yes, already. Significant feature, a trough across Jamaica. The trough is expected to remain across Jamaica and the Central Caribbean over the next few days. And the 24-hour forecast this morning, which is gone already, is now afternoon. Isolated showers across sections of northern and southeastern parishes, otherwise partly cloudy. The afternoon and evening becoming cloudy and with showers and thunderstorms, especially across central and western parishes. Tonight, isolated showers possible across eastern and north central parishes, otherwise partly cloudy. But I'm sure you will be interested in what is happening in some of the towns. For example, in the southeastern, Morant Bay, Kingston, Halfway Tree, showers, partly cloudy in Kingston, also partly cloudy in Halfway Tree. And Portmore, cloudy. But my friends in Spanish Town, Maypen, Manville, thunderstorms, look out for that. It's just a prediction, but look out for it. What, you forgot your umbrella? Sorry for you, then we can't help you. Okay, then over there in Santa Cruz, expect showers and thunderstorms in Black Reef and Savannah Lamar. Also in Negril, expect showers also. Same thing for Port Antonio and Port Maria. Thunderstorms also in Ocherius, I said Ocherius, and also in St. Anne's Bay. And, my parish, yes, where I was born in Falmouth, Montego Bay, and also Lucy, expect thunderstorms. Now, we are so it means, therefore, we can expect some water in quite a number of areas where you're having drought across the island. And farmers, I know, Mr. Gale, Anthony Gale, and Nadine spoke to us. They said that the farmers are not quick to plant much at this time. because we are still in the hurricane season, and we were told before, yes, there is a hurricane out there, that's Tropical Storm Lee. But it is not a threat to Jamaica. But the fact that it is not a threat to Jamaica doesn't mean that you ignore it, right? A storm and hurricanes, they have a mind of their own. The thing is, we have learned so much about nature, and based, I guess, on the temperature and the pressure areas and the history of these hurricanes, scientists are able to predict, very accurately as to where it might go. But in the meantime, you just make sure that you're ready, you're prepared when a storm comes like that. Don't be like a sunbird. They wait till storm come. And when storm come, then stuck on the same place and storm catch them and can't go nowhere again. All right, you're listening to Spot On. Yes, this is Omega Radio, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting from the FM band at 89.1, 89.3, in Fort Lauderdale at 101.9 FM. Vernon W., your friend, saying to you, stay with us. We'll come back. Don't move. Welcome back. You're listening to Omega Radio, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. I am your friend, Vernon, and thank you very much for staying with me. Well, I tell you what, we're trying to make contact with our next guest, and looking forward to hearing from that guest. But in the meantime, hey, we're going to get you to do some more music, and so we can enjoy it, the beautiful. And I say good morning, yeah, but good morning to those who are having morning this morning, yeah. Some countries, yeah. I think let me see, it's now afternoon, some places it's night. But let's get into the music and enjoy ourselves in the meantime.
Jesus. Jesus make me smile again. Jesus make me scream again. Jesus make me laugh again. Teach me how to walk again, yeah. Jesus make me smile again. Jesus make me scream again. Jesus make me laugh again. Teach me how to walk again, yeah. Make us say, yo, oh Lord, you're the only one. That's why me only not so long. Listen, every time I play my life to my friends, them listen but them never learn the song, yeah. Oh Lord, you're the only one. That's why me only not so very long. Hey, hey, hey. Every time I play my life to my friends, them listen but them never learn the song, yo. My life is like a nightmare, the future's like a dream. Me dropping and then me go somewhere in between. Me flesh rise up and just want create a scene. Got me hands twice, me keep me heart clean. Yo, more time me tell them man a small problem. Then down the road me can go hear them back again. Me not talk about the secret me have with them. Got me wonder if some of them are me friend. Then like I say, oh Lord, you're the only one. That's why me only not so long. Hey, hey, hey. Every time I bring my life to my friends, them listen but them never learn the song, yeah. Oh Lord, you're the only one. That's why me only not so long. Hey, hey, hey. Every time I play my life to my friends, I'm gonna tell you, so listen to me. Hey, there were times when me feel me couldn't live it up. There were times when me feel me woulda give it up. There were times when me feel me woulda lie down in me bed and now wake up and somebody find me dead. There were times it gets so tough me couldn't take no more. There were times me find a room and then me shut the door. There were times me say me cry till I want to pour and be a sliding night because it flood the floor. There were times me remember David and Solomon. There were times me remember Joseph, Sarah, Abraham. There were times I realize I'm not the only one because the cross is the perfect demonstration. Make me smile again. Jesus make me scream again. Jesus make me laugh again. Teach me how to walk again. Yeah, Jesus make me smile again. Jesus make me scream again. Jesus make me laugh again. Teach me how to walk again. Listen, me look east, not south, and the west. Me no see nobody. When I was going through the wilderness, I just me and me pain and me stress. Drink your way together, and you get a total mess. But just as me fit in the last breath, me here behind me. Another footstep, me concerned, so me take a check. Me young rock I say, come on to me and lead that labor, and I will give you rest. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. I want you to prosper every day and night. I die for you, I take your stride. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I understand the things that you are going through. It is nothing new, cause I've been here too. My own reject me, even just as you. Falsely accused for things I did not do. Like Jackie Valesquez, I get on my knees. I realize my problem is just bun and cheese. He's here with me and he will never leave. The cross still bleed, the cross still bleed, yes. Oh Lord, you're the only one. That's why me only not so long. Hey, hey, hey. Every time I play my life to my friends, them listen but them never learn the song, yeah. Oh Lord, you're the only one. That's why me only not so very long. Hey, hey, hey. Every time I play my life to my friends.
Oh, yes, time is slipping by. Yes, it's now 1:39. You're listening to Omega Radio. Good afternoon, yes, wherever you are in the world, and good morning or good night, yes, depending on where you are this night or this morning or this afternoon. All right, coming up right now is Talk Your Talk. And of course, we have on the line a lady who I've heard about, and she has been highly recommended, and I was told that we need to have a talk with her. Good morning, Oshane. Morgan Lou, how you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm fine.
Great. Listen, you better go ahead with saying good afternoon every day, you know, because for all these years I'm used to morning radio. You think it's nice to come on. Good. I'll be saying good morning. Let me tell you something. People get money. People,
Okay.
the blessings is good too, you know. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, when you are highly recommended, it is something to be proud of.
That's
And
right.
you'll be shocked about the persons who recommended that I speak to you, because I'll tell my listeners, I don't know you, but I trust the persons. One of them is a minister, another one I think is an educator and so on. And they
Okay.
said, I should talk to this lady. And I'm going to say to my listeners that when there are persons out there doing good, by the way,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. I bet you can't answer it. I say a teacher. You bet you can't answer the one, you know. I chop a bag, you know. Who is the most
Okay.
popular person in Jamaica?
What a question. The Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Who him? Remember, I'm telling you, he's not that popular.
Really?
No, sir. And about Mr. Golding or anybody else. No. Try again. I'm not about anybody dead or gone like Bob Marley and so.
Wow.
You see?
I would say Usain Bolt. I would go to that league.
No, sir. They know
Really?
him and they rate him. But
But he's very popular.
what the most popular, you say, no, you win me out, you know. We have a your box for that one. But let me tell you, it is sad when the most popular person in this country is somebody who is incarcerated. And I'll say no more on that. It says a lot about
Okay.
our country. You go somewhere, they big him up. I don't hear them bigging up you saying the way I hear them bigging up and that person. But it tells you. So it is good that we are moving now to those who do good. We are bigging them up, or
That's
recognizing them up. And that is why you are here this
Okay.
morning. So I
Thanks
want
for
to
having me.
welcome you. Now, tell me a bit about yourself, because I was told that you are a teacher, right?
Yes, I am a teacher by
Tell me.
profession.
Tell me more. That means you're earning whole heap of money.
No, not at all. So my
Yeah.
name is Ocean Morgan Lou.
Yes.
I'm from the beautiful parish of Portland.
Hey, you never hear about
Okay.
Trelawney yet. I don't understand about the Portland.
No, I've never been to Trelawney.
You know, I'm not telling a lie.
Okay.
Portland is really, what a beautiful place. The scenery,
Very.
lush, beautiful. And you go and show about the parish.
I currently reside in St. Mary.
That's not a beautiful place, too, you know.
It's another beautiful place,
Yes,
trust
yes.
me.
And how long have you been teaching?
Only for a year.
Really? So which college you went to?
I went to the College of Agricultural Science and Education.
What a thing. That's a
sir.
great place to go, you know, because you need
It's
to...
an excellent college, trust me.
I hope you're... I try to remember. Dr. Deslandes is the principal, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Deslandes, you need to talk to me, you know.
Okay, it's a very good
Yes,
place
yes.
to be, want to be.
So,
So I currently work at the Buff Bay High School, where
Mm-hmm.
I operate as an apps coach. So I don't teach at my institution.
what kind of coach is that? Or what is that? Oh, that's,
So the apps program, it's the alternative pathway to secondary education. So we cater for the students who would have left the primary schools and are in the high schools and are not performing at the high school level.
all right, I will answer you now. I've always asked myself. So with those students now, which grade they put them in? They have left the primary school.
So they are in grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9.
Hold on,
So-
I'm going to tell you now. But I beg you to let me tell you the truth, you know. I rubbish that. It does not make sense You cannot have a child who is not performing at the high school level. You put them in grade 9. You can't. It is wrong,
No.
and that's not your
But
fault.
what-
You know,
what-
it's
what
not
the
your fault.
It's not my fault. But
No,
what
sir.
the program do is that we assist them.
No,
So
that, no,
we bring the primary teachers in the high school to assist these students, and we work extremely hard to bring them up to the high school level by they are at grade 9.
But here
It
the
has
joke,
been
though.
very effective so far. It's a lot of work, though.
You know what is effective? Because you
Because-
treat them as if they're at that particular grade. What we are now doing in education, we
Yeah.
are promoting the children. Like you went to college. Did they promote you from year 1 to year 2? You didn't pass your subjects in grade 1? In
No.
year 1? Exactly. So why do we do it to the youngsters in the primary school? It is wrong. And what we do something that is wrong now. And then you at the high school level have to turn around and teach primary education. That doesn't make sense.
Yes.
It doesn't
It
make
is.
sense.
It is stressful on some of the teachers
Exactly.
if they are not trained for primary. So in the high school,
Yes,
you
sir.
will find that we have some primary teachers in the high school.
And if you have primary teachers in the high school, they really should not be there. They should be at the primary level. So
But
what?
they're assisting the students who are at the primary level.
But I would say to you, what they should do, let the children stay at the primary level until they are ready. You can't go
They
to
are
you-
ready.
You can't go
So
to
maybe
university.
the primary schools need fixing.
You say difference with me, and you hear yourself maybe.
Maybe.
That'd be nice.
Because trust me, the program is working in the high school.
Yeah.
As I said before, it takes a lot of work, but we get to move up these students. I can speak for my school. So we have a child who come in and is reading at the grade 1 level. By the time the year is finished, we get that child up to grade 5, grade 6, which is extremely good. So with the hope of having this child in grade 7, by the time the child finishes grade 8, hopefully that child will be performing at the grade 8 level and is ready for grade 9.
Let me ask you something. When the children come into that high school, at what grade level do they come in at, say, the lowest level you have seen?
So we have below pre-primer.
No, man, you come and read that tell lie, no, man. My God. Really?
So it is that bad.
No, man, this is bad. And let me say it again.
However,
Eh.
there is always room for improvement, and they have been improving.
All right,
So
you want
that's
me to
the
know what
good
the
thing.
improvement is? We need to go back to the old time days when everybody didn't have them doctorate, you see? And they knew, for one, boys mature later than girls. They
Right.
knew that girls learn differently from boys. They knew that you can't promote a child from class to class unless they are competent in a particular level.
Yes.
No, you see, when they only did have third year, first year, second, that time you know born it. Okay? And those are exams of those. I'm into the patois, but I'm telling you, I'm also promoting the patois so that persons overseas can learn the patois. And I will
Yeah.
speak the English language at the same time. Now, let's talk about you now. You're going to have to come back on this program. Let me tell you that, you know, because you have a lot to tell. I understand that you're getting a massive salary as a teacher. And
Yeah.
because you're getting such a massive salary, you have decided to spend your time and work free of cost during the summer. No, man, you have to tell me more about that. Tell me.
Okay. So I started doing summer school in 20.
I think you have a phone there. Your phone is ringing?
No, my phone is not ringing. It's not from my hand.
Not from you at all. I don't know what is giving. I don't.
Yeah.
All right. You continue.
Okay. So I started when the COVID chipped in. So a lady was passing by my house one day, and I was in college. She was saying, Mrs. Lou, you don't think you could assist some of these students in the community? Because they're just on the streets. You know, you went inside, think about it.
So why she pick
But-
on you now? Why?
I guess I am going to college. I'm studying, teaching. So I guess she's thinking this lady is the right person.
So who's that lady who come push? She actually push you to tell you. She pushed you
Trust
into
me,
it.
I thought of it and I said, yes, it makes sense.
Yes.
She's just a friend in the community.
You don't mind
And
calling her
I-
name. Call her name, man. You need to recognize
It's
good
Colleen.
people. Colleen. right?
Colleen, yes. So I spoke with my husband about it, and we got a piece of tarpaulin, put it up outside.
But
We
your
got
husband is a
some block.
madman too.
That's where we started.
So your husband is a madman too. You know, easy.
That's where we started.
Mhm.
And I reached out to parents, and the next morning, students were there. After then, I started asking for a little contribution, towards lunch for the students and so on. Because they are coming in the morning and they're
Yes.
asking, Miss, I need breakfast.
I know.
Miss, I need lunch. I am hungry. I cannot learn.
You look at them now asking for dinner too.
So right?
Mm-hmm.
The parents that year was very supportive for
Yes,
2020. 2022, it was very good. We had a big fun day at the end and so forth. 2022, we had summer school again. 2023, the challenge was really on for the parents.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that parents wanted students to attend summer school. I asked them for a small contribution there. Most of them were unable to give.
Oh,
But honestly, my love for children, I couldn't turn them back. I couldn't. I have students coming to summer school without even bus fare to go home. My husband had to bring them home. And I'm saying, my God.
But I'm
this
going to
is
tell
a
you
lot.
something, though, you know. When I used to go to school, you know, especially when I used to go to high school, and the one bus turn, you know, from Spalding to Trelawney. You better walk up, start walking from 2 o'clock, you might reach about 10 o'clock.
Whoa.
And when I was a little youngster, too, I'm going to, what they call it now, they call it infant school. You have to walk about 2 miles. I have a concern with the children nowadays. I know we're concerned about safety, but they need to get into the habit of also walking. It's good for them.
Walking.
Mm-hmm.
And it more have to do with the safety of the children.
Yes.
So you don't want to have the little girls walking home alone. And that would be a distance because these students were going to Another Bay and they are leaving from Fort George.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I live.
Okay.
But overall, the challenge was there. I honestly don't know how I do it sometimes with providing for them and all, but it was a good summer school. At the end, I miss these students so much. They learned. They were well behaved. These students understand that when they come to summer school, this is my summer break I am on, and I'm taking the time out to assist you. You need to behave yourself. You need to learn. They are good children, trust me. It was very good. But as I said before, I normally keep a fun day for them. So it was there, and then I was saying, I needed something to give to these students.
Yes.
The contributions are not enough to purchase things. It's just enough to give them lunch. For the fun day, you know, kids would want a ride, maybe a bounce about or something. So I reached out to my MP, and he was extremely quick.
Who's the MP?
To answer me, that's Mr. Dunn.
Oh, him better no say it not done yet, you know.
He
Minister
was,
Dunn,
he was
how you do?
Minister Dunn. He was, I was elated by him. He turned up the next day.
Really?
To see what is going on, and he was there on the last day giving out packages to my kids, and they all were happy.
All right. Let me tell you about that. Miss Dr. Dunn, that's the way to deal with the politics. There's only to cuss and trace and what have you. That's what you do. Yeah, man, that's the way you do it. And because guess what? If you don't do it, somebody done them will do it because they know about marketing. They know about public relations, you know, so. But I can tell you, you know, but your husband too. But him not easy too. Why if you come talk about sugar breaking? Oh, really? Where are you going to put them? Do you have food to give them? Into the home?
We didn't think about all of that, honestly.
See,
I just wanted to help these students, and I do it throughout the year. I have an homework program.
Yes.
On Sundays as early as 8 o'clock, you will find them calling Mrs. Lou.
So let me ask you something. Where did you find that husband from? Because if you don't have a supportive partner, can be a challenge, you know.
He's from Fort George.
I see.
Yes, he's from Fort George in Another Bay, St. Mary's. So, and trust me, he was very helpful this year.
Yes.
So because of that, I'm planning something special for him on his birthday. He was extremely helpful.
Hold on. Listeners, you hear how you build relationship and partnership. So you and your husband, you don't have time to fight and quarrel and cuss.
No, we don't do that at all. And I think the kids, they admire those stuff because they would say things when they come by summer school. I think they're not used to those type of environment. Well, not all of them, but some. But trust me, it is good.
So listen, I wonder if you understand. You have children already?
Yes, I have 2 of my own, and I have one
so hold on
adopted.
So you're going to end up having about 30 or so?
Can I tell you, I have kids now that when I leave work and I am going home, if I want to go home and I take a nap, I have to ask the taxi to bring me home. Because if they see me going home, they are coming with me.
My God.
And when they are there, if they want food, Miss Lou, you don't think it is time for the dinner?
You know
And
what?
if I'm going to church, they want to come to church too.
Which church do you go to?
I go to the Osborne SCA
Oh,
church.
yeah, 70. I figure. Listen, what you going to do, you know? At the worst, you ever come tell me no, so you go to 70 church. You know? Because there's one thing I know about the 70 Adventists, them. You know what I know about them?
What?
Don't go like I don't know, you know. They
You
all
tell
can
me.
sing. See, but I sing a line of a tune for me.
No.
That is not fair. No, one line. Come on, one line.
Oh, Lord. I'm not good at singing.
No, but no, me still want to hear you. But you can't always spoil up the song.
Oh.
No one go on, man. You never can tell.
Oh, Lord.
Your favorite chorus. Let's sing one line.
My favorite chorus?
Yes.
Oh, Lord, I can't think of one.
I don't know
Lord,
that chorus. I don't know that chorus, oh Lord.
I wasn't thinking of singing at all.
No, since you're not thinking, you better start singing then. Just find one chorus and sing it. Me serious, I'm not make you come up until you sing it.
Okay, as a teacher, I should be flexible.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yes. Go on with me here, you know.
For if I pray, King Jesus will wash my burdens away. All the way, all the way, King Jesus will wash my burdens away. If to him I pray, for he opened doors for me, doors I'm not able to see. For if I pray, King Jesus will work my burden away.
Well, guess what? The Lord is going to charge you for coming on air and not speaking the truth. Because you can hold a tune. God, what do you? You're too bad at all, man.
Right.
And I hope you know that the children nowadays, you know, when I tell them, like when I went to school, you used to have they call your times table and your exercise
Yes.
book. And okay, when I teach it, you not learn it, you know, it's hard. But I'm going to tell you.
I am very dramatic, trust me, that's my thing. So I can share something with you when we're off here.
You're talking to an actor too.
Right? That's my, I can do that for my kids.
Yes.
I will do anything for
So
them
guess
to
what?
learn.
If you can sing like that, you're going to say, we say 2 1s, 2 1 and 2 2s 4. Say 2
Right.
3 6 and a 2 4 is it? I mean, I'm asking no time to learn it.
They will learn it.
Yes.
They
Well,
will learn.
I want to thank you very much. Not only are you able to teach,
Yes.
but you're also able to sing. You have come on the program this morning, and whether you like it or not, you have lifted my spirit.
Yes.
And I'm sure that those who are listening to you here in Jamaica, in Fort Lauderdale, and right across the world, you have
Yes.
lifted their spirit. Thank you very much, Ocean
Thanks
Morgan.
for having me.
Say hi to your husband for me, and all the children. Them. Take care of all your friends at the Seventh-day Adventist Church there. Just make sure to hit them
Okay.
up. Have a wonderful day. It was great
Thank
having you.
you.
All right, you're listening to Omega Radio here, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. So you continue to stay with us. Going to take a break right now. Yeah. Welcome back. You're listening to, yes, Omega Radio here, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. And of course, it's good afternoon. It's now 2 o'clock, 4 minutes, actually, 4 minutes past 2. Or we'll say, that's what, 14:04 in Jamaica, 14:04, 100 hours Eastern Standard Time. We are supposed to be moving to our next feature, but our guest is not here. And more than likely he's probably having a challenge. I hope he's not lost, and he's probably going to where I was before. But I hope he's listening. Hope you're not lost, sir. Hope you're not lost in the traffic. But we are, yes, Haining Road, right? 17 Haining Road. So if you're listening, we're trying to make contact with you. And I guess you're probably not answering your phone because you don't want to have to go to court or to pay the police any money. Or not pay the police, but pay the government any money for answering the phone. So we're still trying to make contact with you. So we continue to do that. So you continue to stay with us. You're listening. I tell you what. I think there's a little challenge here. Let me see. We're going to sort that out soon. And I'll let you know what is happening. But I think he's in touch with us. But if you can tell him to come here right now, and we should be quite fine. But tell him, let's take him on the phone. Let's call him on the phone, and then he can probably come here right. So let's go right into it now for Technology Talk. Right, so Technology Talk coming up right now. And of course, let's check to see if our technology man is on the line. Is that on the line as yet? All right. All right, let's check if he's on the line. Mr. Andre
Hi,
Monte.
Vernon, how are you doing?
Hey, I thought you were lost, but see, picking a little mix
No,
up
I
at the
was
time.
not lost. I'm still here. I was actually about to travel to you, but technology helped me. Thanks for linking with me. So I'm here. Today, shall we talk about today? Technology.
Yes, I would love to talk about technology. What I would like to tell you, many of us believe that technology is here, but we are not there, so technology is not going to take us there at all. But do we have that power? We have to just go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow, but I mean, it's not that we're not there,
Yes.
Remember, we're what some people refer to as not a first world country.
Mm-hmm.
So, the technology starts in where it develops first, and they're able to build the technology and do all the research. They spend a lot of money building these things, and then it trickles down to the what we call the third world countries.
I'm going to give you trouble now, Andre. The technology has to first start in your head.
Correct, the idea.
Yes, if it doesn't, they have a problem. So I think that in Jamaica, we are lagging behind. I do think that those who govern us, although I do believe that some of them are really not with it at all, but in the corporate world, they will spend the money, but I don't believe they understand what technology can do for them. I've mentioned it to you before. A simple thing like using the Microsoft suite of products.
Right.
Many persons out there, they use, for example, Word just like how you use a typewriter. So although we have the software, we are still functioning in the days of when you have a typewriter. I mean, for example, you can access your Excel right there in Word. I've seen persons doing the calculations and then putting the figure in Word.
Right. Or they may use the wrong application for to produce the wrong kind of documents. I've seen people put together calculations, need to calculate something,
Yes.
and they want the table in Word, and obviously we have an application that is designed to do the calculation for you, and you can port it over to another application. So I mean, it's all coming down to education and making sure that people know what are educated properly in the use of each one of their applications, and also for the people to want to learn, because I see a lot of people in business, they just don't want to have anything to do with technology. They basically subjugate all of the work to other people. You must understand, you must know how to use it, and you do all of that part of that work for me. I really don't need to know.
But guess what? Sometimes you'll find that problem in management. And I would say to the managers right across this country that if you find yourself in that category, then you really need to probably either equip yourself or you probably need to pack your bags and go. Let me tell you why. If you're at the top and you're not with the technology, not working with it, then you can become a stumbling block in the advancement, the development of the company, and the company functioning at an optimum level. Because what can be done in 2 minutes will take you probably 2 days to do.
Right, that's right. So a lot of business owners out there need to invest in learning about newer technologies out there, or just keep abreast of what's going on with programs like these, right? And therefore you go out and then you seek that information. A lot of people just don't want to seek that information.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Let me give you an example of what, and I've said it before with you on a radio. Take, for example, Microsoft Word. And I hope that managers are listening, and because when you have to prepare reports for the board, and the secretary or whoever have to prepare, whoever has to prepare that report, they will put things in a table of form, and it has a header row. And what they do, they keep on putting the heading on every single page. Therefore, when they add information to a page, it pushes the heading further down on the page. When they could define the top
header
line.
area versus
Exactly.
our footer area, and then it would automatically just repeat on each other page.
And the same thing for Excel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of companies should institute programs to be able to can educate, because another thing, as an IT manager,
Right.
You spend a lot of time actually, if not doing the work for some people, because some people don't know how to type or even put tabs or anything. You spend a lot of time doing work. Not that I'm renegating the fact that, the IT manager is not needed. But a lot of time is spent doing the task of showing the workers how to use the application at the basic level. I mean, outside of doing, more advanced level application helping, you end up, okay, this is how you put the full stop, or this is how you separate with double space and those things.
Mm-hmm.
But as a fact, it's still a part of the scope of work of an IT is to teach, but giving time for the manager of an office to do that is not even, put into, the workflow of the week of an office.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that, I think that should be also be a part of your office, being able to separate some time so that tutoring can be had on all levels for the people who may need it.
And the challenge is, if you as the IT person who should be looking at high-level things and developing systems for the organization, if you have to leave your job to show somebody how to, for example, use header row, or how to, for example, design a document so you have the heading so that you can have a numbering system, or that a Word document it can generate its content automatically.
Right.
Then you have to be going around and teaching them what I would regard as something which is clerical work.
Right. Still a part of the job, no problem. But it does affect the efficiency and work, of an office, because, as I said, education and as a manager, IT manager, it's a part of your scope of work to help the other people in the office learn how to use these applications.
I want to mention something that is quite helpful that I don't think we're making use of, and that is getting information. Now, I find the Gmail and the whole Google thing a little bit more, well, you can help me because I'm not too sure if Yahoo and those other email providers, if they offer that kind of facility.
What service is that?
Yes. Take, for example, you need to get information from your workers, or in a school you need to get information from your parents. You have probably 1,000 parents. What we probably do is ask them to come in and we write up on a piece of paper. We give out a paper, you write up, and then somebody have to type it out. That can be done very easily using Google Form. You design a form. You
can share that via different methods, via your WhatsApp or your email or any other various forms. So it basically puts an area out there that people can centrally fill out your forms and give you back information or metrics.
And the thing about it now, the information will be recorded on your spreadsheet right there, real time.
Digitally.
Yes.
Digitally. Some of it may take a little bit technical expertise in the background, but the theory is that everything will be done digitally.
So that is one way that we can get information easily from workers, from students.
Right.
You have some students, for example, you have students who probably, all the students who have cell phone. One politician and so what?
But the government is setting out, I see that there are avenues that, we're trying to equip our schools better, also increasing
Internet,
security.
yes. But hear the joke now. It doesn't make sense, government spending all that kind of money out there. And the mentality of the people is still at a particular level. In terms of either teachers or the administrators, and I'm telling you, in moving around, I'm finding that quite a number of leaders in the society, they actually stand in the way of development in terms of the technology. And they have to understand that when you do that, you're holding back the society and holding back the country. You can't do that.
That is true.
Because in an organization, it's always felt that you need to train the workers. But I'm telling you, what I found out is that we need also to train the managers right across this country. We need to get them computer literate.
Definitely, and as much as possible. And we want to put in structure and prioritize try to prioritize things that make sense. Think short term, then think long term.
I want to tell you, Andre, when you realize it's a serious matter. Now, I know that you don't work in the bank, well, you probably wouldn't get the money, or you'd have to be a top-notch person to get the big money. But I'm not asking you. They get big money. And I'm saying they're spending all that money and they're making money. I don't hear the banks losing money. And a simple thing of designing that portal so it can help the customer. No, all they spend the money to do is just lodgements and withdrawals and so on. And I can tell you, the banks have the kind of money that they could set up a customer portal where it almost becomes an accounting system for you. So at the end of the year, you should be able to see what you pay for electricity, for water, and that will be helping your customers. Now, I am saying to say that if management was with it, I tell you another thing which I've said to you at another place. The banks will tell you to send an email. When you send an email to John Brown goes on leave. And then the email dead, you know. You hear me? I tell you, dead. I've said to the banks, I've been saying for years now, link the email to your customer portal. So when I send a message to you, it's secure for one, and you can look back and see all the challenges that I have had. But they are lazy. They are relying on an email system when they could have a system tied to your account. So every time I have a problem, if the person who looked at my first message is not there, another person is there, they could look and see the thread of all those messages.
Well, I'm sure there are solutions to those issues out there, because I have seen systems that, you're saying that they don't have any well, they should have information.
Well, the banks are talking now. But yes, the banks, when you go there, most of them allow you to do is just to, what I'd love my listeners to tell me, if they have any system from any other banks which allow you to send a message. And they tell you to call the bank. Try calling the bank. Try call them. Yeah. So then when you call them...
Most places allow you now to basically not use calls, but, you may, on their website, you may have a chat bot or somebody that answers.
But the challenge with the chat, while the chat can deal with simple queries, what you want to do, you want to record a conversation when there are problems with your account. Chat box is just to give you, and I must tell you, that is that, I've checked them out. Sometimes they don't respond. The computers and telephone system, sometimes they don't respond appropriately.
Oh, okay.
So
right. Well, you should be able. Most chats that have dealt with utility organizations do allow you to send an email copy to yourself, and therefore you can use that as evidence later on.
Yeah, but what we need to move from now is that email now, but a messaging system linked to your account. So if I have a problem with JPS now, when I go in my, and oh, by the way, they're going to do that because I spoke to JPS about that. So when I go on my app and I say, listen, my lights are short out. Anybody go to my account, they should see my message. Not go check an email which went to John Brown.
You should see a message in all on conversations in relation to that account.
In relation to that account. So if they say I didn't call, anybody can go into that, didn't communicate that, anybody can go into my account and say, on that day, you did communicate. But what we don't love accountability, And I am convinced that's why we don't want to have it.
Oh.
Another thing I'm pushing for in terms of technology. You put your money with an investment company. The government need to have a law that you cannot have an investment company if you are not able to see what is happening to your investment.
I mean, you should at least even know who the investors are, right?
Real time. So if they move $10 out to your account and put so, I must see it.
Right.
Or else?
Well, all of that soon change. I mean, as you realize, now we have artificial intelligence taking over a lot of these aspects of our transaction abilities. Pretty soon you'll have AI tracking all of these things and sending out alerts if we don't have that already. Because this is how they would monitor if a person is within a certain limit or under a certain limit, or if they're moving funds over a certain limit.
Right.
So, as I said, the world is changing. We need to be able to change with it.
Better change. Guess what? Talking about is AI. They call it artificial intelligence.
Right.
I don't know what artificial about it, because some man put the sense in it. Can you imagine when they are developing to the point where I can just type into I log onto my bank account, and I said, I see a $10 credit there. What is it for? And he can just respond to me. That $10 was because so and so happened. That is where I'd love it to go.
But also, a lot of tech engineers and tech billionaires have been warning that you need to be careful, because these technologies, to make these decisions, they are taking a lot of information in, and if you're delegating all of this work, make your life easier. it's making decisions for you.
Right.
What I mean, that is the issue at hand right now, and a lot of legislation is actually now being asked to be put out there to basically monitor how this artificial intelligence is growing out there, because it may, I mean, we might end up back in, Independence Day kind of an era where these computers decide to, these guys are not efficient, we do it better, let's get rid of them.
Well, what we need to do is to make sure we do it become more efficient, so that is that prove that we're not, because I will tell you right now, especially in Jamaica, over the years, the amount of complaints I get from persons about the inefficiencies in the system, our persons not responding, it's just unbelievable. And it seems to me...
In business.
Yes, man. And it seems to me we are sometimes scared of the artificial intelligence because we are scared of losing our jobs. And that is real, but what it means, therefore, you have to move those jobs. And that's why the country must grow. You probably put persons into different areas, because if the machine can do the job better, then why do it?
And then it still comes back down to education, because these people need to be, a lot of people out there doesn't have any work, and they don't have any means of finding education to even get another work.
Yes.
Right, so you see, it becomes a constant circle. I mean, I want work, but I can't find work, and I can't get any means. Same thing with operators of businesses. I mean, to expand your business, you need money. You need to invest into the company. You can't get any investors or investments, or even are there no programs to help you along.
You know what I love to see, as a Mark, you speak about education. For those who are working, they have a serious problem, Not only they can't find the money, but how the hell they are going to find the time to go to school? And as a matter of fact, we are pushing online learning for children. I think we should be pushing the online learning for adults, because children need to be properly socialized.
Right.
Children need the face-to-face thing, but for adults,
face-to-face and being able to interface with other people.
I would love to see more and more things go online, where if you suppose you left school at, say, probably grade 10, adults should be able to go online and study and do your CXC same way. And then what I'd love to see a few companies. I don't have the money, but I can tell you I don't have the money. I'd love to see a few companies sponsor something.
You'd be surprised. It's all about priorities, I find, with companies.
I know what is their priority? To make money. But what they don't realize, if your staff is not equipped, they're not trained. If the nation is at a particular level, you're in an environment where they won't demand your goods and services. So the environment is very important to your profitability.
Right, a good working environment. And
exactly.
as you see what's going on now with the teachers and all, with them leaving Jamaica because they feel that, outside of Jamaica it is a better,
Andre,
greener pastures.
You say no, you got stir pants this, you go switch from it. What? That's another matter. But I will tell everyone who asks, since you mentioned that, you could put me to trouble, you cannot stop persons from moving from one country to another. It has been happening from time immemorial. You can't stop it.
Right.
Especially
if there are greener pastures, that's per se.
Exactly. All you have to do is just keep training persons. What you can do, though, if you train somebody, you pay for them, you can bond them for a number of years.
Right.
But you can't stop them at all. So, and guess what? When you have a challenge, it don't make sense you put your hand on your head and ball on, so you have a challenge or what have you. You don't have to deal with it. It's a reality.
You find solutions.
Yes. Yeah, you find solutions. And that's why you
and with the solutions, the rest will come, definitely.
Oh, by the way, you see, you IT person, don't just stick to IT. The training that you guys have had in IT, I'm not going to ask you. I'm telling you, it would be very good if an IT person was in charge. You guys think logically. You have problems, you think solutions. Probably need more persons who do IT in government and management, rather than having persons who just study politics. Oh, I mispronounced it. Is that politics? It's politics.
Well, you can ask. I mean, I see that the government has offered better incentives. Probably, it may attract a certain crowd. Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, the man's desire to travel and to explore, you can't stop it. So if you double, triple the salary, there are some persons who want to go to work in Africa. And by the way, it is good. The more you travel, that's also a learning experience. So let's stop wasting time on cussing about teacher, travel. And when I went to school, we had teachers from England, from America, all over the world, and the experience was fantastic. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, even for IT matters, when I went to Docs, we had teachers from all over. And guess what I must tell you? They taught you, they didn't call it flowchart, but they had to tell you, when you're going to go to your bed, what's the first thing you do? You take off this, yes, you take off your pants. So you're going to take off your pants before you take off your shoes. That's why I learned this whole flowchart thing when I went to school. So, you know, I think we need to understand that people need to travel. So leave them alone.
Right. But through technology, we get a lot of information without even traveling across the world.
Yeah, but guess what? There's nothing like seeing the Niagara Falls, for real. There's nothing like going to Africa and seeing a giraffe.
What I find interesting,
Yes.
though, because I saw a news item recently about tech billionaires wanting to build their own utopia. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they're going to find something that we never clue about.
In California, they want to build a whole, technology city for themselves.
Really?
Yes.
It seems to me that that's the topic for next week, sir. We have to talk about that. And we have to talk about, we're coming from slavery. And
Right.
if you continue to remain in a particular era, then the developed countries we'll always be slaves to them. So we have to jump on the technology, make sure we know it, and we can become far more efficient and
Far more productive also.
and productive. So I would say to my listeners, those who are in businesses, you need to listen to this program because we did touch. And as a matter of fact, we'd love to hear from you too. Tell us what's happening and be a part of the discussion, because what we are talking about is what sometimes you pay thousands of dollars to go to a conference for. So let me tell you the numbers you can call. You can call this number and listen to if you want to ask questions. The number to call is 876-613-9129. 876-613-9129. Toll free is 877-494-0253. And check it out, Omega Church. We're live, yes, on YouTube. Right, Pastor Boyne? Right. So if you want to know how ugly me look, just go there and look at my face. Or you said I make up my face, I would have confused, I would have nervous. You see, it's real radio this. So you'll see it. All right. Gonna go for it. Thank you very much, Mr. Monty. Next week we do all the best. Take care, my friend. All right. All the best. Gonna go for the break. Pastor Boyne, gonna go for the break right now. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome. You're listening to Omega Radio coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. We're located right here at 17. Yes, I just slipped me a note, Pastor, because I'm getting to 17 Haining Road right here in New Kingston. So right here in the middle of New Kingston here. And I must tell you, the persons who we get to come on this program, they're very busy professionals. And we want to thank them for really bending to come on to this program. Right now, the lawyer should be on, but he's in a crisis now. I hope he has not been prosecuted and has to go to court. No, I don't think it's that bad at all. But emergency call, and therefore he will not be with us until about 3 o'clock. Now, I will tell you, I am not a lawyer, but it looks like sometimes I know about law than I think I know. So, I will touch on some issues. One thing I can tell you, the amount of complaints I've been getting from listeners over the years, I am now quite au fait with some of the challenges that persons are having with the judicial system. For example, a gentleman called me this morning to tell me that he's having some challenges, in his family. And extended family too. And you know what can happen, Boy, when things get rough in the family, it can get very, very rough. Becomes violent too. And I advised him that you can't deal with it on your own. I said to him, if you have a pastor nearby, you can talk to that pastor. But things got probably rougher than a pastor could probably deal with. So I advised him that when it comes to violence, you have to probably now talk to the police. The challenge is you talk to the police and you make a formal report. And let me tell you, when you make a report to the police, you should get a receipt. And then now the police they're supposed, you get a summons now for you to go to court. And let me tell you, part of the problem, I've been told, is getting that summons served. Let me tell the whole of this country that if you have a case and the summons is to be served and is not being served, I need to know immediately. The feedback that I am getting is not a good one. The feedback that I am getting is that sometimes we do not want to serve the summons because we are connected to the person. And when something is dragged out after a while, it's forgotten. So, the summons is not served. Because, as they say, I know who you know or who know you. And them tell us says contacts run things, but sometimes contact will run things to a wreck. And I will say, while we're getting very concerned, and we've been talking about accountability among our political leaders, but enough is not being said about accountability as far as public servants are concerned. Therefore, if summons is supposed to be served and is not being served, and by the way, it was indicated to me that if you want the summons to be served, you better drop our money. Now, I'm going to tell you this, I'm not saying it is happening, but this is the report that I'm getting. And them say, if fish go a river bottom until you say shark did it, you better believe it. That's let me say, an English form of patois. What I'm saying, for those who don't follow the patois very well, that if there's a fish who has been to the bottom of the river, that fish now surfaces and says to you, I saw a shark there. Well, what you're going to do? So you don't believe the fish? You're not a fish. You did not go to the bottom of the river. Marky, we do know that you don't expect to find shark. But you never can tell what the fish say. You have to take it because fish go there. So this is something that we have to look at. So police officers, make sure that you are not collecting any money from anybody to serve any summons. Because mark my word, if you do, dog might name your supper. Because persons are now sending me messages and telling me what is happening. And let me tell you something, I must tell you. God has blessed me. I reach a level where if I pick up my phone, I'll call the commissioner. I call the prime minister. I call Mr. Golding. And they will respond. So, the ordinary citizen of this country must understand that when you have somebody like me, and you work with me, yeah, I can't do it alone, you have to work with me, then you can reach anybody in this country. So, let me say it again. Officers, if summons are to be served, we must serve it. Another thing I'm going to say to the government, we need to really, fully computerize the judicial system. Because what one senior officer reported to me recently is that when a case, they have a big book, marker here, they're going to computerize that thing. And when something is written into that big book, it stays there forever and ever. Anybody can go there, retrieve it, and leave it like that. But hopefully, we need to reach to the situation where any report made, it's put into a computerized system and it will remain there forever and ever. Amen. Until the case is solved or something unless you decide to be. And well, no case should be thrown out. Case should always be there until it's resolved. So that is what is happening. We have a system which is not computerized, and that is why the criminals know they can't get away with murder. Because after a while, it's forgotten about. You're gone about your business. You probably go to Europe or you probably go to some foreign country and you come back again. So I'm going to make a special plea to the government. Please find the money and make sure you computerize the system as quickly as possible. I got a report that Palmer's Cross, that is something I've been complaining about, that the listener has reported to me that the road from Palmer's Cross to Maypen, it is being fixed. And I'm going to ask that listener that make sure you check it, because we have a way, see, we just throw a little mile over the road and we just spray a little asphalt on it. And then by the time a little rain comes, that's the end of it. So I'm going to ask that listener to pay attention to it, because that's another thing. You have some contract out here, you don't need to go in the yard, go sit down, you not get money under false pretense. It must stop. And these things is not only illegal, it's ungodly. You see, a lot of things that we do out there, we don't understand, say it's not only illegal, it's ungodly. You can't get contract to fix the road. And before you fix the road properly, you do have to come back and fix it again. You commit a sin, not only against God, but the people of the country. So you need to stop it. So I'm going to ask those listeners there at Farmers Cross to check into that one. Another problem we have, and that is probably, we just said the IT person, stems from the fact that we have not computerized things properly. How the hell that you can have persons in prison for years because of no identification parade? Are we running a country? Are we running a joke? No, man. You can't lock away a man for years. And even if he sues the government, who's the government? You and I, Pastor Boyd. You have money, me not know. But I mean, you have to pay for it. You cannot have a man locked up, deprived of his freedom because of lack of identification parade. No, man, this can't happen. And I'm going to say to the relatives out there, when you know of these things, they must do something about it. And there are many persons you can call, including this program. Right? I just want to remind our listeners that the number that you can call for this show is 876-613-9129. All right, remember, I'm apologizing for our lawyer, Mr. Wendell Wilkins, having a little challenge at this time. But we're still going to try and get him later on. But in the meantime, I think we're going to probably get some good music, good spiritual music that can lift our spirit, and hopefully will have some impact on how we think and what we do. You're listening to Omega Radio, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. This is the program Spot On with Vernon Darby, coming to you live from 89.1, 89.3 of the FM band, and also in Fort Lauderdale at 101.9 FM. Of course, you can listen to us anywhere in the world on the internet, and you can also download the app and have it on your phone. And just check for Omega Church on YouTube. I'm coming to you live there right now. So, time now for some music. It's now, 2:45.
Listen to them words now. Things are already better. Things are already better. Things are already better. Already better. The Lord is on my side. Things are already better. 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 Already better. You see, the Lord is on our side. Things are already better. Things are already better. thank you for strength. So we lift you, God. We bless your holy name. You're amazing, yes you are.
Kevin Downswell, come send back the devil, go down hell. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run in and they are safe. My safety is in Jesus. My protector is Jesus. When I'm in trouble, I call that name. Jesus. My burden bearer. Jesus. My heavy load sharer. Jesus. My bridge over troubled water. Jesus. Stick closer than a brother. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. I beg you call that name. Jesus. Beg you call that name. Jesus. When my family forsake me. Jesus. When I'm feeling lonely. Jesus. When I have no money. Jesus. All kind of problems surround me. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. I beg you call that name. Call upon the name of the Almighty One. Call him up. When the enemies attack you, wanna put you in a shuttle and you're fighting the battle just. Call him up. When your life in a trouble and you can't take the struggle, man, no make the pressure kill you just. Call him up. When the rent man, I look for you. Family, your pressure, you know, nothing up on the table. Call him up. Call upon him for make a miracle, cause anything is possible. Power in the name of Jesus. The Lord is my light and my salvation. We tell it to the world from about 91. So we telling them again in a new hit song. Make them know we have to stay firm and strong. Me no self-righteous, I'm just a man. No, me no perfect. Doing what I can understand. Coming know me and me purpose. God him have the plan. And me faith in the man. Jesus. My burden bearer. Jesus. My heavy load sharer. Jesus. My bridge over troubled water. Jesus. Stick closer than a brother. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. I beg you call that name. Jesus. Beg you call that name. Jesus. When my family forsake me. Jesus. When I'm feeling lonely. Jesus. When I have no money. Jesus. All kind of problems surround me. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. I beg you call that name. This is for somebody. Mountains on my left. Mountains on my right. Fear on my back. I see the Red Sea inside. God, me, I go call your name. God, me, I go call your name. Me, I go call your name until your power touch down and bring some cheer. Mountains on your left. Mountains on your right. Fear on your back. Just see the Red Sea inside. You have to call him name. Yes, you have to call his name. We have to call him name until his power touch down and bring some change. Call him up. When your pocket full of money, things pretty and sunny, give thanks for prosperity. Call him up. When you know you're living happy, doing better with your family, thank him for the legacy. Call him up. The blessing and the salary, take you out of poverty, give him the glory. Call him up. When things get lovely, nice and bubbly, just remember the name of Jesus. The Lord is my light and my salvation. We tell it to the world from about 91. So we telling them again in a new hit song. Make them know we have to stay firm and strong. Me no self-righteous, I'm just a man. No, me no perfect. Doing what I can understand. Coming know me and me purpose. God him have the plan. And me faith in the man. Jesus. My burden bearer. Jesus. My heavy load sharer. Jesus. My bridge over troubled water. Jesus. Stick closer than a brother. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. I beg you call that name. Jesus. Beg you call that name. Jesus. When my family forsake me. Jesus. When I'm feeling lonely. Jesus. When I have no money. Jesus. All kind of problems surround me. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. I beg you call that name. Jesus. Jesus. Call that name. Jesus. All the time. Jesus. The burden bearer. Jesus. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Oh. Jesus. Stay close. Jesus. To the troubles and trial. Jesus. He's the one who I dial. Jesus. When my family forsake me. Jesus. When I'm feeling lonely. Jesus. When I have no money. Jesus. All kind of problems surround me. Jesus. Somebody call that name. Jesus. Somebody call that name.
Yes, let me tell you, sometimes when you're feeling lonely, it is not a lovely feeling. But guess what? There's something you can do about it. And there's a gentleman who called me yesterday. I hope he called the bishop this morning. And as I can tell you, all of us, we have various challenges. Some of them we can act and do something about ourselves. Sometimes we need to push others to do. But sometimes, you need to talk to your father. And during this program, Pastor Boyne is here with me. And we have a number that you can call. And there are some issues which are, has to do with things to do with God and so on, that you just probably need a prayer or just to talk to someone. I tend to confine myself with consumer and public affairs things, And Pastor Boyne is here. Let me just remind you of the number to call, 876-613-9129. I tell you, we have another 4 minutes left before we go for the break, and we're going to have a meditation, Bible reading, and so on. After that, and then we will try to make contact with the lawyer again, Wendell Wilkins. Very dedicated man to what he does, very dedicated, yeah. He's another Seventh-day Adventist too, and he has given a lot of hours in terms of just educating the Jamaican public about the law and human rights and so on. He has been coming on this program for years, and we really want to thank him. But I want to mention something before I go for the break, and that is honesty and integrity at all levels. And I'm going to speak to an issue which those who, if I hear them say, those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Let me speak, and you listen very carefully. I'm not about stepping on anybody's corn, but I hope those who are close to him, they're listening and they will learn. There's a gentleman who I taught at a new secondary school, and he became a big official in this country. And he has been telling the whole of Jamaica that he went to another school. You did, sir, but I, Vernon Darby, taught you at a school right up to grade 11. I'm going to suggest to you that you're seeking a big post in this country again. That until you become honest and tell the country the truth, that you should not take up that offer. You should not. We need leaders who are honest and who speak the truth. And I'm going to repeat this more than once. You have heard me before. I taught you at a secondary school. And you have been trying to build an image of yourself, which is not true, because you want to make people believe, oh, you're uptown and uptown, you go to a big shot school. No, you need extra studies. And I'm very concerned that you might attain a certain position in this country, and we can't have a dishonest person who has misled people. You know yourself, and I hope those who, I don't want to give any hint yet, but if I see you still fighting for that position, because I must tell you, I have a problem with dishonest persons getting positions, whether in government or public sector anywhere. One of the worst things to have that, all right? So, that is a matter I'm going to speak about some more, because that person could become probably the Prime Minister of this country, the Governor General of this country, and we can't have it. And sir, if you continue to do so, I'm going to make it public. Can't have it. We can't have, because sometimes bad luck will follow you because of the kind of leadership that we have. Now we can't have that at all. So sir, and your friends, that show there are persons out there know I'm talking. You know we are taught before, I won't call it school now, but I will call it eventually. Sir, you need to come public and speak the truth, or else. Well, Vernon Darby say, I got serious a while ago. Gotta go for the break right now. You're listening to Omega Radio, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. It's now 2:59. Your friend Vernon Darby saying to you, so come back, don't move. Welcome back. You're listening to Omega Radio, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm your friend, Vernon Darby. And of course, we are broadcasting on the FM band at 89.1 and 89.3 right here in Kingston, Jamaica. You can also hear us on the FM band in Fort Lauderdale at 101.9 FM. And of course, we're on the internet, so you check us out. And we're on YouTube. Yeah, just look for Omega Church. Yes, Omega Radio, actually. And you go to that channel and you will be broadcasting there. Now, let me tell you, we're going to change up things a bit. Normally at about, say, 3, we will, so now what? It's now 5 minutes past 3. We would have meditation. You should know that and so on. But what we're going to do, Wendell is now here, the lawyer, Wendell Wilkins. So we'll go straight into the law and you, and then we will have that afterwards. So right now, we'll go straight now into the law and you. The law and you. That theme is coming up now, so continue to stay with us for that theme, the law and you. All right, let's see if our friend Eloy is on the line. The man called Wendell Wilkins. How are you, my friend?
I am fine and I'm giving thanks.
I don't understand you. I moved to big house, right? Lovely palatial, you name it, beautiful, setty and everything. And you don't come look for me. I don't understand you.
Well, you know, sometimes I'm otherwise engaged productively. One day I will come.
But today I know you had some challenges, yes.
Yes, all of a sudden. But, you know, we have overcome them and we are ready to go.
Well, as I tell persons, you know, can you imagine if the whole world was flat and there were no mountains to climb? And if there were no problems in the world, you know what man's problem would be, Wendell? To find the thing called problem. And what a hell of a problem that would be. So, the moment you have life, there are challenges.
Yeah, you have to give thanks and be appreciative.
Yes, after small mercies. But I mentioned something before you came on here, and I have to tell you this one, you know.
Yeah.
That, you know, sometimes I'm making trouble, and sometimes I have Pastor Boy in here to pray for me and make sure that I don't misbehave myself. I have you to talk to me in terms of the lawyer. And I must say, praise the Lord, all the years I've been on radio, I've not said anything which is libelous.
Okay.
I've gotten myself into trouble so far. But
you have been a good student. You have been a good student.
No, I won't even give me my diploma. My
yeah,
God,
time to graduate now.
It's time. But you hold up my documents then. You hold it up, you know. But Wendell, hear this now.
Yes.
Something which is giving me. Well, I know a number of things, but I know you're going to deal with one after this. There's a gentleman, I mentioned it before. There's a gentleman who I taught him at a new secondary school. Right up to grade 11. He became a senator, right? And I keep out my mouth. The man is telling the whole nation that he went to another school, which he did after he left. It was called extension school or something like that. He's now seeking an office. And I have a concern because I now see him as somebody who is not telling the truth. And I'd hate to have somebody occupy certain positions. A certain position when this is a person you can't trust. So I'm saying it again so they can hear, because if I'm going to get myself in trouble on air, I will know exactly what to do. You cannot have a leader in this country who has lied, denied that he attended a particular school because he wanted to fool people, say about big shot. Right? He was a senator. Yes, no start to ask. Me, Vernon Darby, taught him right up to grade 11. And I'm going to call a name yet. And I'm going to say to you, sir, anybody here, tell him, say, I've been calling your name. You either back out of it or you come to the nation publicly and say you lied. You did not tell the full truth. All right? Okay. And then I've said enough. And if you don't do it, I'm going to probably call him. But you'll advise me if I have to be careful Well,
Yes.
if he sue me for life, well, guess what? We don't no money for pay, so he can't turn as a tanty there.
Well, you have a thing called unnecessary entanglement, you know. It's not every battle you fight. Sometimes you go and leave a particular battle for
Yes.
another day, another time.
Another time.
Mm.
All right. So you advise me to leave that battle? Because I'm a concerned.
Keep it on the side burner.
Yeah, because I'm a concerned. If you can imagine, he becomes like a minister of government. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, but you see, when you remember they say, you know, the higher you climb, the more you expose yourself.
Yeah, I'm monkey climb.
I didn't use that term.
I know, just that I'm connecting it, you know. And I remember my mother always said to me, say, Vernon, be honest, 'cause if you lie, you a thief.
Yeah. And there is, I think they say, long run, short catch.
Oh, they say, what? Short cut, jar blood, but long cut, jar sweat.
So if that person is going to a higher office, his profile will have to come out. He's going to be interviewed. And somebody is going to ask him, not necessarily you, what about this school? So it will come out.
Listeners, now you understand why we have Wendell Wilkins here. He's not here for his good looks, but he's a gentleman who has been giving service for years, not only on my program, but other programs. And we want to thank him because many Jamaicans, they're educated here and they don't give back. And they probably hope that they can use all the money and the wealth and the higher learning in another life. But he's sharing it with us, and we're glad to have Wendell Wilkins. Thank you, my brother. What's on your mind today?
Yes, there is a matter that came to the fore recently where this gentleman was arrested by the police and he was taken before the court. He had a long judicial process in the court, and he was claiming that he was innocent, but the process did not dispose of his case until 6 years. Some 6 years later, he was able to get bail and his matter disposed of. I think he came into the court system, the criminal justice system, in 2009. And the matter was disposed of in 2017 thereabouts, where the prosecution could not go ahead with the case.
Mm-hmm.
And it proved that there was a police investigation, but he was not the right person. Persons have similar names, but he was not the right person.
Did he have a national ID?
No, no, not what is to come, which perhaps would have solved the problem.
Yes.
But in 2009, we were not introducing the national ID as yet. So the police got his name and decided to arrest him. And although the description of him was different from the suspect was brown complexion and shorter, the police somehow felt that they had enough to charge and put him before the court. We don't have the information as to why the matter took so long for him to get bail.
How long it took, Wendell?
It took about 6 years before he got.
No, man, you
that
can't be
bail.
speaking the truth.
Well, you see, remember in the criminal justice system, you know, when you're charged, the judge looks at many factors, and the prosecution and the defense, as to why you should be given bail. Now, in this case, he was charged for a serious offense, murder, which means that you will have to come fairly good to get your freedom, which is your constitutional right.
But here what, Wendell, let me just interrupt you there. It means, therefore, the judge has already come to a conclusion, you know. Because if it's a serious crime and is not being given bail because of the crime, it means, therefore, odds are against him already.
No, it doesn't mean that. It means that although it's a serious
I'm being
crime,
cynical, you know.
yeah, although it's a serious crime,
Yes.
you have to come within the criteria used. And therefore, there are about 6 or 7 factors you should be able to satisfy.
Good. Let me ask you, is there one that the judge must have it for himself? That wants to come for anybody else. That I could have lied them and tell upon the man.
Well,
Therefore,
the
that ought to be
police,
considered.
yeah, the police, if they had done more investigation, they should have been put on alert that the case is not one that should go forward with a charge so readily.
But let me ask you something now. Is bail to be offered because of the offense which is alleged to have been committed? Or if the person have the kind of character reference who can indicate that this is not a habitual criminal, that this person is a good standing member at the chance of him running away. But if you ask me if he were run to another country, I really couldn't care less, kind gone. Let them deal with him. Was that taken into, or is that taken into, or we just listen to what the lawyers have to say, rather than the system doing its own work to ascertain the man's character and to look at his history to see if he was charged before for any offense and found guilty?
Yeah. Well, the Constitution says that you're innocent until proven guilty by a competent court.
It looked like he was guilty before, though.
Yes, and so therefore the judge and the prosecutor and defense knows that no matter the crime, murder,
Yes.
double murder, triple murder, you are innocent until you are convicted by a competent court. And then you can appeal and you may be released from that conviction. In other words, the conviction is not upheld at all.
Mm-hmm.
So one must always bear that in mind.
Right.
So in the matter of bail, there is a presumption that you are entitled by law, constitution, to bail, to be free.
By the way, Wendell, let me just remind my listeners, you see, because sometimes we feel that, oh, it didn't happen to me, so it can't happen to me.
No, it can happen to any of us. The
Let me
police
just
have
remind
involved
them.
forward.
And
Any of us.
if we sit down and keep quiet, we have a problem. So let me just tell them, this is
Yeah.
a show that you can call. But you would have to sit down and ask nothing. Let me give you
Right.
the number. Make a note of this number. Because when for your number call, we're not talking this number. When for your number call and then lock you up for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, then you have to blame yourself because when you should have stood up, you did not. So let me give you this number. 876. Why you can't find a pen? So your paper there. But look, you go to university without pen and paper. Come on, go find a pen quick and a paper. Go find it quick. And about times your head good, because if your head good like how for me bad, then the good Lord help you. Alright? So, alright, you ready now? Yeah man, start right now. And the pen now right, that's another problem. Alright, we can't wait no longer. 876 613 9129. Pastor Boy, no, I have the right number, just double check with me. Let me give it again. 876 613 9129. Vernon, let me give it let me get it, because sometimes I like me, some of our other hearing, then we're not here well, so let me give it again. What you said, repeat it again, Wendell.
Yes.
Repeat or reverse back. So let me repeat it again. 876 613 9129. Back to my friend Wendell.
Yes, sometimes we duplicate for emphasis, That is our language.
You daddy, you licky, you beggy, you nyami.
Right, that is the beauty of our language.
By the way, could you find a translation in the English language for me?
Yeah, but this is always there. You have some translators who are...
In English? No, so we can't find.
Yeah, so in our case here now, you're entitled to bail to be free as the Constitution provides. Lots of persons don't understand and appreciate that. They believe it's tribulation.
Yes.
And because of where they live and where they come from, that is part of their life to be in custody and suffer. But that is not so. The Constitution protects citizens from arbitrary arrest, arbitrary detention, arbitrary charging into the criminal justice system. So when the matter comes before the judge is going to look at a number of factors. Are you going to interfere with witnesses? Are you going to come back to court to have your matter heard and you have your day in court? Are you going to commit another crime? And so forth. Quite a number of factors are
Yes.
looked into, and it is the state, the prosecution, and the police who must raise those things. If they do not come to court and object and raise any of those reasons why the person should not get bail, then the judge has no alternative but to allow the person on bail. And it is done on certain conditions. Now, sometimes the conditionalities are not easy to satisfy because the judge may say you are admitted to bail, but your bail sum is $500,000. And the person who is not able to afford that from personal assets or anybody coming forward can't take up the bail, so they stay in custody. Sometimes the matter comes up and the lawyer asks for an adjustment.
So hold on, Wendell.
Yes?
What you tell me, I feel like when you talk sometimes I don't believe them, but you're the lawyers, I know you're talking sense. So you're saying that when you're poor, that's like you commit a sin because you don't have no money.
Yes, it happens to quite a number of people in the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
Bail is granted and they can't take it up because there's no family members. There's nobody in the country that can sell a cow or a goat or a pig
My God.
and come forward with the money. Their friends are all without money and they are all by themselves. So if you can't come up with the money and the surety, comes forward with the guarantee, then you stay into custody until the matter comes up again.
Oh, by the way, you have some persons who are in prison for some monkey money, like probably $10,000-$15,000.
Yes, it happens.
Yes.
And there's an organization at the end of the year that seek to get these people out of custody.
I bet I tell you which one. Because
Yes.
I'm close to it. And I'm
Yes.
close to the wonderful lady who helps too. She's a very strong supporter of this program.
Yes,
Sandra
yes.
Ramsey. Food for the poor. You see now? You see me the two dots.
Yes.
Yes.
And one should not be languishing in
Yes.
that kind of setting, which is dehumanizing despite the fact that you are found guilty of an offense,
And
Because
by the way,
of-
Wendell, some of us, we know business, why? We have money. We say it can't happen to us. So
Yes.
our brothers and sisters will be sitting there, not guilty, suffering for years. We know business about them.
Yeah. And if it does happen, we have the resources to get the best lawyers in the land
Yes.
to deal with the matter effectively. So we do not stay in custody probably only for overnight. But for lots of us who are not in money, no cash, no reputation, nobody coming to your rescue, all your friends desert you then, because this is the winter, not the summer.
Oh, yes.
Then you're on your own. So many people stay in custody. Sometimes the lawyers make an application to say, Judge, the sum is too high in the circumstances for
Yes.
my client. If you could reduce it. Sometimes the judge does that. And still, the accused man, remember, it's a suspect accused and is not found guilty yet, cannot find that money, so he stays there again.
My God.
So it goes on and on because he is not able to take up the bail. We do not know if that is the case here because we don't have the deeper facts.
Right.
But the law says you can be admitted to bail because you are deemed to be innocent until you are convicted. In this case, the police seem not to have carried out deep investigative work because once you have an eyewitness who calls a name and gives a description, you have to go and see if there can be an error. And obviously, the description given of the police did not match the description of the suspect. So they should have been put on alert and do deeper investigation, but they didn't. And the man was charged and put before the court. And somehow it meandered through the court for quite some time before.
What's the word you use, sir?
Meander.
Meander. That sounds like a big word. Meander.
Yes,
through the
it keeps coming up coming up.
Wendell,
Yes.
it's like me a countryman, good to be like education. So you say meander, me say it sit down He sit down in the court. It's amazing.
Yes,
Oh.
it's because sometimes when a matter comes up, it doesn't come up back until 5 months time, 6 months time. It doesn't come up every week. So it's very difficult if you are in custody for so
My
long
God.
without resolution. And so this man eventually was set free because the prosecution could not carry out the prosecution case because they obviously they had the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the law says, this is the Constitution, that you are free to go about your business unless, of course, there is a crime committed and there's a reasonable suspicion that you are a suspect. Suspect, no, not guilty, connected with the crime. So there must be reasonable suspicion. And the Constitution is such on that point to prevent arbitrariness and an anti-democratic manifestation in the democratic system as we have in Jamaica, that the police, despite their enormous powers of arrest, they must have reasonable cause or reasonable suspicion.
Oh, by the way,
before charging.
let me stop you. I have a bright little youngster, I have a little connection there. He's listening. They're in Maneuver. Anthony McLaughlin. And I won't tell his connections, but he has but he's listening. Anthony and your sister Elsa, thank you very much for listening. Continue.
All right. So the police now, with that power of arrest, must have reasonable cause.
Yes.
And that in our Constabulary Force Act is reasonable suspicion that you have committed the offense.
Mm-hmm.
The element of that, very briefly, is that they must have an honest belief. They can't have a dishonest belief. They don't like you. They don't like how you look, or you come from a certain area, or you talk too much when you're arrested, so I'm going to arrest you, and give you a hard time. The belief that the policeman has must be honest. And then it must be based upon good grounds that a reasonable person would entertain that based upon the information and investigation I have. Not just one side, but go deep into the matter. Right? Then you believe that this person is a suspect and there is a good enough case to put before the court.
Mm-hmm.
So the arbitrariness, the undemocratic element is removed. Even within a state of emergency, and a lot of politicians, our friends in parliament there, the brighter ones, some of them are lawyers, but they are party people.
Yes. I tell you what, Wendell, I'm going to go for the break. I when persons are good to me, for man give me money all while, me afraid to ask if you want $1, I'm like you know. Wow, you're good to me, so I know if you can stay a little longer. You can stay a little longer after the break.
Yes, I can.
God bless you. Always willing to serve the people of this country. All right, you're listening to Omega Radio, and of course, we definitely want to hear from you. Let me just remind you of the number to call. Yes, the number to call is 876-613-9129. I'm your friend, Vernon, and of course, we have the people's lawyer, Wendell Wilkins, on the line. Stay with us. We'll come back. Don't move.
None is
justice. I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. Got to get it. Equal rights and justice. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Followers of Jesus, everybody wants to go up to heaven, but none of them want to die. I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. I got to get it. Equal rights and justice. I really need it. Equal rights and justice. Just give me my share. Equal rights and justice. What is due to Caesar? You better give it on to Caesar. Hey, hey, hey. And what belongs to I and I? You better give it up to I. 'Cause I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. I've got to get it. Equal rights and justice. I'm fighting for it. Equal rights and justice. Everyone heading for the top, but tell me how far is it from the bottom? Nobody knows, but everybody fighting to reach the top. How far is it from the bottom? I don't want no I want equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. I've got to get equal rights and justice. I really need it. Equal rights and justice. Everyone is talking about crime. Tell me who are the criminals? I said everybody's talking about crime. Tell me who are the criminals? I really don't see them. I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. We got to get equal rights and justice. And there'll be no crime. Equal rights and justice. There'll be no criminals. Equal rights and justice. Everyone is fighting for equal rights and justice. Palestine is fighting for. Everyone is crying out for
Welcome back. You're listening to Omega Radio coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. And yes, this is the Law and You. And my guest is Wendell Wilkins. And don't forget, he comes on every week. And we want to hear from you. This is your program. And let me tell you something. Before I go Black Road, I'm born tire. Call this the man, no man. When I Black the Road for. But call this program and let us hear. You can send me a WhatsApp number. Call 876-613-9129. If it's no Black no more road, I just trouble no one make. No one better. Right? So make sure you call first and say you need this to be fixed. So let me give you the number again. 876-613-9129. Wendell, I guess we can probably hold you up to probably 3:45. That's okay. Not hearing Wendell at all. Wendell? I think we have lost Wendell. All right. We're going to try see if we can get Wendell back on the line. Of course, Wendell was talking about a gentleman who's been in the news. The man was incarcerated for an extended period, not because he was guilty, but because there was a challenge with the identification parade, and he was in prison, I think, for 6 years. Now, let me tell you something. If the rest of us sit down and allow this sort of injustice, then we are also guilty of it. We are guilty of it. So those of us who sit down, we said nothing, we do nothing about it, then we are also guilty. All right. So we're still trying to make contact with Wendell Wilkins about that. And as I mentioned before, the whole judicial system, we as citizens, we have a responsibility to observe what's happening, monitor what's happening. You have this program, you have a voice, you can make use of it. Yes, and I must tell you, I fear no one. I'll fight for you, but guess what? I can't do it alone, you know. You can't give me sword to go to fight. And when look me one out there fight, and look behind everybody run gone. The Sankey no sing so at all. So I definitely need your support in terms of what I do. I mentioned to you before, and I'm sure Wendell will cover this in the future, is the whole idea of summons. I'm getting complaints about police officers who are not serving these summons, and there's allegations that they're not serving these summons because money not drop. I mean, I wonder what I want to, better let me tell you what I want to, is a strong supporter of the police force. But it's them bad one day, me want to come out of the force. You can't do it. It is wrong. And corruption, they're all over, you know. Yes, they're all over. That's why when policemen stop with the idea, you know, I said, me brought the stoplight. But wasn't sure about as far as me, just keep myself quiet. And I said to him, so officer, I like I probably break it, but I don't even know. But I guess he have to just stick it me. Well, it was good enough. He just warned me. And I said, thank you. Mr. Wendell is back? Mr.
Yes,
Wilkins?
I'm here.
Yes, back with you. So we'll just keep it right up until about 3:45. Yes, so you go right ahead,
Yes.
my brother.
So what I was saying is that the police have enormous powers, but they must act with reasonable cause or reasonable suspicion in arresting somebody and charging them and putting them into the criminal justice system before a magistrate or parish judge, as they now call them. Now, this reasonable suspicion is not a hunch. It is not anything that is willy-nilly. It is based upon an honest belief, must be honest, honestly held by the police officer. And from his investigation and all things that he has received and followed upon, he is of the view that this person is a suspect.
Right.
And it is such evidence that he has that a reasonable person would believe that a matter like this should be put before the court so that the person can answer the charge. That is reasonable suspicion, and it operates even within the state of emergency that has been declared from time to time. So the state of emergency is not a free-for-all for police officers and soldiers to arrest and detain anybody in any geographical area they feel like. That is not the law, but sometimes that is the practice because crime is so rampant that they have to do something, and their method is to scrape up many people and put them into the police station for processing. All of that is not lawful.
Mhm.
You must have reasonable suspicion on arresting or detaining the person. And many persons do not know that because they are not exposed to what the law says and the protective mechanisms that are set out in the law and in the Constitution of Jamaica.
Right.
So we have to bear that in mind. So in this case, the gentleman was named. You know, people call your name, but the name is not a surety that anybody who has that name should be a suspect, because sometimes persons have the same name or the same alias,
Mhm.
and
Right.
therefore you have to go deeper in your investigation. So you look when you're collecting the statement from the eyewitness, what is the description? And in this case, the description didn't match the gentleman at all. So the police should have been put on notice from then.
Let me ask you now, in that case like that, Wendell,
Yeah.
what will happen to those police officers?
Well, the state is exposed, so the person who suffered the wrong, the legal wrong, can sue the police officers and the state.
No, yes, but guess what I want to know? What will the state do about those police officers who, by
Well,
their negligence, have caused us?
If the lawsuit results in the state paying out money, then the state has a right to approach the salary of the police officer and make a deduction to cover either all or part of what the government or the state has to pay out in terms
But Wendell,
of compensation.
is which part you live? And if for something like this happen, if you get a man that's sound out jail for much years, they must say over 70 odd.
Yeah.
So what come out right, Wendell?
Well, it's hardly done that the police officer who has not applied the law correctly, his salary is interfered with. Hardly likely that that is done, especially in criminal-related matters. Sometimes you have motor vehicle accidents
Yes.
where there's negligence. Sometimes they may make a deduction. But the problem is that these motor vehicle accidents sometimes result in severe injuries or damage.
Right.
And to take the money out of the police officer's salary, it would have to be taken out over time. And you would reach that sum, the hundreds of thousands or the millions. So
No, carefully talk. Nowadays it can probably it probably, and I will tell you something. The higher you go up in the force, you say, I will tell you. I gather some of those officers are earning between $10 to $20 million a year.
yes, their salaries are substantial, especially with the new compensation package.
Yes,
So
yes,
we do hope that they perform and they deliver, because it is surprising that the state has given a compensation revision and there is no commensurate
Accountability.
criteria, saying that, listen, you deserve it, but we need more customer service, we need more timeliness, we need all of these things. Performance up to scratch to warrant our continuation of that package that you have been asking for over the years and which you deserve. That wasn't done.
Well, I must comment at this point that we have spent a bit of time, not to talk about us talking, but civil society talking about accountability in terms of politicians. But I've heard little or nothing. The silence is deafening as it relates to accountability of public servants, and their salaries have been increased dramatically. Well, we have a minute left, Wendell, so just
Yes.
or two.
So in a case like this, if you suffer wrong at the hands of the police and you are discharged from the criminal justice system, you're entitled to sue for malicious prosecution. That is to say, you should not have been charged and put before a judge. And you can sue for false imprisonment, but you have to sue within 6 years from the time of your arrest. And if you have been assaulted in the process of the arrest, and that is also unlawful, you can
Right.
sue for all of that. You sue the police officer and the attorney general on behalf of the state. So that is your right, your constitutional right. No matter who you are, whether you're rich, poor, black or white or in between, those are your legal and constitutional rights.
I don't want you to say negative, you know, Wendell. May you
Yes.
keep on telling us about our constitutional rights. Mine, we have all those rights that we just end up being dead wrong.
Well, they are there now. They are there on paper. As to whether they operate in reality, that's an entirely different kettle of fish.
But then you have done your job. When you educate us and tell us, and we don't learn, then those who don't learn shall surely pay for it. They will suffer. And as you leave us, Wendell, give us a last word before you go. A last lick. Oh no, time is gone. Just remember, listeners, when he comes back next week, ask him question. And if he can't answer you immediately, don't worry, Wendell, we're going to do his research and come back. Right? Because not everything can be answered at the same time. So the number to call, yes, 876-613-9129. 876-613-9129. If you have other challenges too, and when they spoke to me too, and I might involve some legal things, I'll pass on to him. So if you have confidential things, send them to 876-816-5261, and that will not be exposed, right? The facts of the case will be exposed, but not so facts that can identify you. Wendell, any last quick word before you leave?
Yes, so just thank you for the opportunity of the continuous education in law and attendant matters. It's really good public service.
And
Thank you for having me.
Yes, God bless you for continuing to serve this country. I surely appreciate it, and the listeners surely appreciate it. Wendell Wilkins,
So next
hello,
week.
and you. Take care, my friend. All right, listeners, we had to postpone the other features, meditation and Bible readings, and you should have known that. But guess what? That's coming up right now. Pastor Boyne is looking ready. As a Vernon, stop talking already. Over to you, Pastor Boyne.
The great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land.
John 21 verses 5 to 6 reads, Jesus said to them, Children, you have no fish, have you? They answered him, No. He said to them, Cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some. So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because there were so many fish. My friends, far too often we aimlessly and pointlessly keep doing the same things which produce unhelpful results. Let us hear God's call to make meaningful change. Maybe in our attitude to those with whom we've had unpleasant encounters, or maybe in our approach to the problems which have distressed and impoverished us. Maybe it's time spouses and parents, employers and employees change their tone and language with each other. Lord God, help us to make the changes which will build peace in our homes, our communities, and our nation. Amen. I'm the Reverend Newton Dixon of the Jamaica Conference of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Have a blessed day.
Bid my anxious feet subside, death of death and hell's destruction, land me safe on Canaan's side.
Psalms 51. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee, the only, have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide my face from sin, and blot out mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then will I teach transgressions thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God, thou God of my salvation. Psalms 51. My tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else I would give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in the good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering and whole burnt offering. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar.
Hi there, I am Vivian Crawford. Did you know that our ancestors did not have the luxury of books and psychologists to teach their children? They used what was around them as guide in teaching their children. So they developed what we know today as proverbs, or as we would say, old time people say, what sweet nanny goat a go run her belly. That means if you cannot hear, you will feel. Next one hand can't clap, that is seeking for cooperation. The third one, tenants in up while dance, interference does. That means you do not rush into a situation. And the fourth one, given to me by Basil Keane Jr., told to him by his grandmother, listen to this one. If something running from you, don't run it down. Run away from it. That speaks for itself. You did know that? You should have known that.
Oh, yes, what a program it has been today. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. We still have another probably 3 minutes to go. And of course, we have some things to mention. And then I know Pastor Boyne is going to play me a lively song to end up with. Yeah, you know, love me revivalist songs, and she's coming up with that. So I have to mention some good friends and persons who supported the show over the years. Medina Callum and all my friends at Transport Authority. Yeah, have a wonderful day. So Medina Callum is celebrating her birthday today. Also, Rosemary McNaughton. Yeah, that's Chronic's mother. Yeah, Rosemary McNaughton. You have a wonderful day today. And yes, Frisco, send me this one. You want man to be sure that give me feedback. Oh, yes. Thank you, my friend DJ Frisco. He comes on a Sunday morning, yeah. He says, please say good afternoon to the holiday services machines new lock-in names. Randy, a.k. Lynx. Dyer, a.k. Pally. What kind of name that they Pally? If I had a name, you should have made a name called Power Radio. Anyhow, Bodywork, man. Stammer? No, sir. You can't call him man Stammer. And his wife Janice, a.k. Mama, yeah, drivers Miller and Damian, supervisor Jermaine Morgan, a.k.a. Oh, yes, DJ Frisco. Yeah, man, our own radio disc jockey right here. Yeah, I listened to him on a Sunday morning. Thank you, my friend. Good Swanee, good heart. And of course, Latvia is celebrating its independence today. And Swaziland, yeah, is also celebrating its independence. Mm-hmm. And let me see now, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Richard Anderson. Thank you very much, my brother, Pastor Boyne. Thank you very much. Lord, you see, you know, I can't go out like a big shot, so people think so good, but that good, you know, no, we get the support. I want to get support, we can't. Yes, and I'm going to tell them my little problem, you know. But I tell you, when you get good support, you see, you can't go wrong. So I want to thank everybody here. Even now, they're making the calls outside. It's Davis, everybody, staff members, and marketing people. Yeah, man, I'll go and do it after though. Thank you very much for giving me support. I leave you with this one. Laws in the absence of good law enforcement and an effective justice system will remain laws on the books just for reading. Vernon Darby saying to you, I love you all. Or could, my friend? Let's sing and get out of this place and have a wonderful time. Don't leave. We have another show coming up right after this, yeah? Morning in the evening, Masagada God in the morning, God in the evening, Masagada. Come on, sing with me. Come on, Jamaica. Come on to the world. Let's go. Yeah. Masagadaga. Yes. Masagadaga. Yes. God in the morning. God in the evening. Masagadaga. 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 God in the morning, God in the evening, Masagadaga. My God, my God. You take care. Have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. I'm out of here.